Let's get weird, buddy. Let's get weird.
Guys, where are we?
Well, if there's a bright center to the universe, you're on the planet that it's farthest from.
Welcome to the Outer Rim. Enjoy your stay.
Previously on X-Men.
Let's fucking go. All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. This is Rob here at Smirking Gun, and we're back talking comics. And again, more specifically, of course, because it says right in front of you as you're reading it, and you clicked on the thumbnail, we're not talking about Spider-Man. No, we're talking Wolverine comics as usual. And more specifically, we have returned to Greg Capullo and Jonathan Hickman's Wolverine Revenge. This time we're talking about issue number 3. And the big story that I've gone on and on about was, what's Hickman's endgame for this story? Is there something more powerful behind this story? Or is it just him playing with his action figures? And after issue number 4 finally dropped recently, I feel pretty confident that this is mostly Hickman just having fun, telling a really Elseworlds Wolverine story where Magneto died and his death created an EMP that took out the entire world's technological anything. Everything is gone. And everyone's dying, and only Russia has power, and Wolverine has no idea what was going on, and he's out to help steal this power from Russia. But in the middle of all that, they all die. Like, everybody gets killed. Cap, Bucky, Nick Fury's LMD, Maria Hill, Dum Dum Dugan, some guy named Quartermain. They all get killed by Colossus, of all people, who's leading this group of the Brotherhood of Mutants, if you want to call it that, even, of Mastermind, Sabretooth, Omega Red, Deadpool, and they think they've killed Wolverine, and now he's back for revenge. After blowing him up, he's been taking them out one by one. First, he takes out Mastermind. Then he goes after Sabretooth. And at the end of that, he depowers Sabretooth, and that's the end of the issue. And where we pick up in number 3, that's what we're going to be talking about today. But I'm just going to say, because I've read number 4, I really do feel like this is just him having fun and telling an interesting story, which you can say revenge, right? If maybe the main part of this is just the revenge part and what revenge does and what revenge looks like if you keep going all the way, and how, kill it, like it's the cycle, right? It's kind of like that. And when we get to issue number 4, we'll get way more into talking about that, I think. But up until then, let's read Wolverine Revenge number 3 and let you guys kind of decide, because again, this book moves super fast, does not start where I thought it would at all, and then ends. And again, we had to wait, and I think that's part of the problem, is that we all had to wait a while for this to come out. So without further ado, let's just get to talking about it. And I don't even know, did I say like and subscribe and all that jazz? I probably didn't. Maybe I did. And it's only been 3 minutes and I've forgotten already. All right. Time to get to the book. So 1 second, and we're reading Wolverine Revenge number 3. Okay, so this also does have a red band, but the red band for this really is just more blood. There's not giving us any extra story content in here. I got it. I got the red bands because that's the version I want. I want the bloodiest version there is. And I'm not expecting this book to be like super valuable unless I live for 1,000 years and, you know, I've got the only copy left in existence and we still can sell comics in 1,000 years if we're still around. I don't know. Anyway, Wolverine Revenge, number 3. Let's get down. Documents. Have your documents ready. If you don't have transit authorization, you better have gold because your paper money is no good here. Without one or the other, no one gets on the boat. My advice, don't waste either because this isn't the trip you want to make. We are not headed south. Where are you going? Across the sea, through the Strait of Gibraltar, gun running. Right now, 100,000 bodies are floating in the Med, and it ain't gonna stop. So unless you have some real business there or some angel looking to save you, I suggest you wait for the next ship. I'll say this for you. You're a hell of a salesman, and you really sold me on the idea. I'll take the ride. Maybe I wasn't being clear enough. You were. Now hear me. I do have real business there, though the unfinished kind. So I'm getting on this boat. And if you plan on taking the trip with me, I'd step aside. A lonely trip of probably just thinking about hate and killing. I love that also he's in costume. He's just walking past everyone. He's got slashes on himself, right? People are looking at him like, what the fuck, you know? he's just walking like the thing in It Follows, where it's just, I'm going to come for you, like Michael Myers, or even, you know, like I'm coming for you. Might not be today, but I'm just gonna walk and walk and walk until I get to you. And his rage and hate. Maybe that's again part of what Hickman's saying. All this for a little fire? Oh. All this for a little fire. I'm not going to do the whole musical version of this because I don't think anybody cared. Maybe I should. Magneto died, releasing an EMP that took out all the world's power. Killing hundreds of millions of people, hoping to save the survivors. What was left of S.H.I.E.L.D. sent Wolverine, Captain America, and Winter Soldier on a mission into Russia to seek the last device capable of producing energy on Earth. Mastermind, leading a new brotherhood of evil mutants consisting of Sabretooth, Omega Red, Deadpool, and Colossus, intercepted them. Only Wolverine survived, but the rest will not go unavenged. He tracked down and killed Mastermind, and with the help of Forge, extracted the locations of the disbanded Brotherhood from Mastermind's brain. He depowered and defeated Sabretooth, but the others are still out there. So yeah, I mean, that's something else that should be brought up, is I thought it was really cool that Forge and Danny Moonstar are out there and still they're the ones with power. Now that everybody's dead, it goes back to them. Something ain't right. It's burning too bright. Now, why is the most valuable power source on the planet, one worth death and murder and betrayal, left unprotected to run hot and melt down? Or maybe it's not. Well, well. Look what winter has brought. The dead live again. Oof! Do you crave pain, comrade? Is that what's called you here? Back from the dark? Pain is nothing on the road to revenge, pal. And you? You're just a speed bump. And what are you? A relic of a more fair world? If so, then you have no place here, Wolverine. You see, the power source was incompatible with the furnace. We have fire, but only for a much, much shorter term. Oh, and that burning you feel, that's plague in your guts. The last gift you'll ever get from Omega Red. Squish! Snap! Ah! Yeah, I can feel it. Thwomp. Go ahead. Go ahead. Infect me with everything you can. I'll take it all and endure every bit of it. Just so I can put my hands around your neck. One. Last. Time. Crack. I suppose if this place is melting down, I should leave some kind of warning sign if anyone gets close. There. That should do the trick. So even in what they did, their power source was not compatible, and everybody is the struggle and the killing and the murder and everything to stay alive, and it's not even gonna last. And they know it. So I guess again, maybe you could say, it's like what we do to each other for, these things that aren't sustainable either. Yeah, of course. And I mean, this is an amazing touch, by the way. This is where, if you want to go, is he playing with his action figures? Well, I mean, he's literally got Wolverine climbing a nuclear tower in Russia. And there's Deadpool, just like at the end of X-Men Origins Wolverine, except, come correct at least. He's got a mouth and a costume. What? No flowers? Oh, I had some, but they died along the way, like almost everything else on this godforsaken planet. Sure. I feel really bad about that. I mean, as much as someone can feel bad about an EMP that they didn't really have anything to do with. It's a bummer, man. A total downer, and I feel that. What's wrong with the reactor, Wade? I don't know. Bad wiring? Russian engineering? Maybe it was just a stupid plan anyway. After they installed it, it was leaking radiation every week or so. But now she's got an upset tummy and is belching fallout every 20 minutes. You'll see. So why are you here? Can I be honest? Sure. I love this. It's like atop a nuclear reactor full of fallout. Two guys are taking the damage to themselves, having a conversation about the world and life and choices. It's like the end of the thing. In a way, I don't know. I feel terrible about what I did. I mean, maybe I could live with it if everything turned out okay, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. I chose poorly, which is nothing new, but normally I do a pretty good job of getting over regret or just pushing the pain down until I forget that it's there. But not this time. It's too much. Well, I suppose that settles it then. What's that? The argument that people like you and I never pay for our sins. That we just heal and move on. Yeah, no getting past this one, is there? As they just get radiation sickness and welts and shit all over their faces. No, don't think so. Okay then, time to end the show, I suppose. Any clever last words, Deadpool, before you swan dive into oblivion? No, wait, I think we've said enough. Plenty enough for far too long. See you on the other side, Logan. Sorry I blew up your friends. Hold on. Huh? Sorry, I just can't watch you do this. You mean you don't want me to die? I'm saying that this isn't the answer. Oh my god, please tell me that you want us to team up one last time. We could right all the wrongs in the R-rated kind of way. You think you can handle something like that? I took care of Mastermind, Sabretooth, and Omega Red. So you know where I'm headed next, don't you? Yes, and I'm in, baby. Let's get this death metal tour started. Hey, Wade. Yeah? Do you really think someone who's done all the things we've done can be forgiven? Yeah, you know what? I guess I do. Whoomp, I don't. Ah! 1 week later. So yeah, I mean, up there at the end, Deadpool's just like, no, it just wanted to do it his way, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't even to like let him think he was gonna live. That's just Deadpool being Deadpool. He just pushes him in. And the thing is like, will he die? You know, in this story, I think maybe it's safe to say he does. But you never know. Again, it's whether or not they revisit this world. Chunk. 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 I know you see me in there. Not like I'm trying to hide. So how are we gonna do this? You coming out? Or are you gonna make me come in? That smile on his face. Hello, Logan. Petey. Call me crazy, but I think you've gotten bigger. No, Tovarish. Through the years, we have all gotten smaller. It's nice here. Peaceful. Good place for things to end. One way or the other. Go home, Logan. I have no wish for things to end like this. Don't have a home anymore, and that's 'cause of you. Is there someone in the house? Yes. Well, I'll make sure to mark your grave so they'll know where to find you. Could you have ever imagined that it would come to this? And I think a lot of Marvel fans were reading this going, no. And again, we should probably talk about this after, but I tell you the truth, pal. Snicked. All I can imagine now is you 6 feet under. Hurt. 6 feet. I think we can do better than that. So he gets his fastball special, but just not by choice. Oof. Huh? Now, Logan, let's finish this. Why'd you do it, Petey? The others, no surprise there. Even Wade. But you were the best of us. Slip! Ah! Sometimes you have to pick a side. Even allies that you despise. Because it's what's best for your family. I was your family. Yet, you were my friend. And that was not enough. I mean, playing with his action figures, he's literally taking them apart. If this book ends with the kid playing with his action figures, like St. Elsewhere or something, like it's a little autistic kid, and that's not making fun of autistic people, that's making fun of the St. Elsewhere ending. If this ends with that, I want to tell everybody that I predicted it. I am sorry it ended this way. Yeah, me too. Snit. I mean, was there really gonna? It's Dude Metal Claws against a Unbreakable Metal Claws against a guy made of metal. It's organic metal, though. Okay, and we now know what these guts look like. Slump. Just like putting them on an action figure. And now it's done. Next, peace. And that's the cover for Wolverine Revenge #4. For some reason, I didn't notice the gray beard that would say that time had gone by in this book. I didn't really understand what was going to happen in issue #4. But here we are at the end of this issue. And I think, what bothers people is when characters do things out of character. And from the beginning, you had to think that we're in a story where Colossus turns on the X-Men. The Colossus doesn't just turn on the X-Men, he turns on Wolverine, he turns on, good guys. He was a good person. But I've been saying from the beginning is that Wolverine doesn't know what happened in those 10 days. Nobody knows what pushed him to this. Nobody knows why he decided to say you were friends, not family. Now, I know that I have friends that consider me family and vice versa. And so I think it is a little bit if anybody calls this character assassination, I don't think it is. I just think that it's an interesting story that you just never know in the multiverse of, in our own world, in our own choices. We could have made a million different things happen. And one of those, in this world, Colossus chose his country over anybody else because to be fair, he's always been, when it comes to his family, it's kind of been them first. At least when I grew up, with everything with his sister and everything, and how he sacrificed himself, and he's always been a very selfless person, but he does care about his country. He does care about his, family. And I don't think it's too far out of character. It's just that it's like it's I think it's meant to push us too, that we'd be fighting some of our best friends in these wars, right? Against people that we never thought you'd face up against suddenly. And in our own world right now, it's hard not to imagine that there's people that if something happens here in America, that once again we wouldn't be facing off against each other in some fashion. We do every day, and sometimes they're people that you trusted. And I don't know, maybe that's what they're trying to say here. And again, he's literally pulling arms off of his action figures and throwing them around. Now, after what I read in issue number 4, like I said, this does feel like we'll get to that. And now this is pretty much solidified as maybe the because of the art. I think this is probably my number 2 book. No, yeah, my number 2 of the Wolverine stuff from last year. Although Madripoor Nights is a close third, very, very close third. So close that it might still overtake this book depending on how it ends. So right now it's Wade Wilson III, Deadpool Wolverine is number 1 from last year for me. Then this, very close with Madripoor Nights, and then Deep Cut coming up the rear. I don't really count Predator versus Wolverine because that's a whole animal of its own. But otherwise, yeah, here we are. I'm glad I'm talking about it. It's a fun book to talk about. It's a fun book to read still. But if we're looking for greater meaning, other than I think I've covered things that you could interpret that as, and we'll continue that when we talk about issue number 4. So if you like what we're doing here, again, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, all that jazz. As we get set to talk more comics, don't forget every Friday or maybe Saturday night, we do Severance live streams for about an hour or so talking about that show. We do God of War, Ragnarok streams right now. That's the game I'm mostly playing. Can't guarantee that you won't see another random game on there. And it can't guarantee that you won't see a random video up here at all, where I might just feel like doing something off the cuff without having it scheduled or anything. So thanks for watching, everybody. Get ready for more comics. Read comics. Be good to each other. And I'll see you in the next video, bub. Bye. Ba-ba-ba-bum. Ba-bum-bum-bum. Bum-bum-bum-bum. 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 Ba-ba-ba-bum.